Matt, this team just doesn't know when it's beaten, does it? Difficult to know where to start today, but your immediate summary of today's match?
First half to forget. It's a difficult pitch here with the rugby that they've started to play on it, and it's always a bit bobbly, and the wind today as well. It's a difficult place to come. It's a big pitch as well, one of the biggest in the league, and we just looked a little bit leggy. We looked like we couldn't really get going, didn't really get hold of the ball well enough. We were into the wind first half, which I felt played a huge part in the game. And to find ourselves 1-0 down was a bit of a rarity this season at half time. We were normally a really strong first half team, and I just asked for the lads to be patient and to get a reaction, and I thought we started the second half quite well. They've gone up the other end and made it 2-0. We were a little bit open there, a goal which we don't normally concede that type, but then just got stronger and stronger, as we always do. So fit we are and so strong, even though it's 8 games in a row, Saturday and Tuesdays. The subs made a huge impact. I'm delighted for Callum Keeley to come on and have the impact that he did. Toby Show-Silver coming back to his old club was a real bright spark for us. Tanto got the goal from the set piece. Eastie, great finish. We looked likely to go on and win it. Not that I'm sure I wanted it, but you look likely to go on and win it.
Yeah, it's a fabulous afternoon. Some draws feel like wins, others don't. But today that was a huge euphoria when Eastie's shot hit the back of the net. But just going back to the start for a moment, we made one change from Tuesday night's great win at Bromley. You decided to bring John Barden back in for Aaron. Must have been quite a tough decision.
Definitely a tough decision. Aaron's been excellent in the 2.5 games that he's played, but I'm just a little bit cautious with players who haven't played a lot of minutes for a long time to come back and try and play 3 games in a week. A little bit like Donovan Wilson. He hadn't played since Boxing Day and played 2 in a week, and that's why we dipped him out and Tanto back in. So it was actually harsh on Simo, and it was a tough decision to make. But John's been excellent all season and hardly missed a minute. So it was a tough one, but one we just thought we could freshen up. But Simo again made a huge impact as one of the 3 subs coming on, and really gave that energy, driving us forward in the latter stages of the game. So it was a tough decision, but we've managed to see it through.
First half took a bit of time to get going, didn't it? We'd agree. I think we just didn't seem to be able to get a foot on the ball. The ball seemed to just bounce away from us. Epitomised by the goal. 17th minute, shot comes in, deflected off, I think, Goody, and it's free for the fella to put it in. It kind of epitomised that first half, certainly the first half of the first half.
Yeah, it was just a bit bitty. They were certainly on the front foot more than we were. They were more in control of the game. We couldn't really get out, we couldn't really get hold of the ball, we couldn't really get in behind. Wind certainly played a factor, as I've said. Yeah, and just misplaced passes, and our quality wasn't great. We just looked a little bit open and not like ourselves in that first 45 minutes. We had a little spell where we got going, but overall it was the worst 45 minutes for us for a long while. But the reaction and the second half performance was excellent, and like you said, some draws do feel like wins and some feel like defeats. And 7 days in football is a long time, isn't it? And Stockport last week, 96th minute, certainly feels like a defeat. Today certainly feels like a win, and just delighted to get through another month. 8 games in a row, as I've said, of the Saturday Tuesdays, and we're 12 unbeaten. That's
9 wins and three draws in the last 12 games, which is phenomenal form. At the end of that first half, obviously we went in 1-0 down. Your half-time message to the boys to obviously change the conditions in the second half, and we seem to come out with a lot more purpose, a lot more intent.
Yeah, it was more of a chat in there. I wasn't fuming with them. I didn't lose my rag. It was like I have done the odd time. I felt for him a little bit, and I just explained it nicely, what I wanted and what I want to change. But I did also know in the back of my head that wind was going to help us, and not let them get out as much and allow us to be more on the front foot. So if we could get off to a bright start, be patient, not look to try and get the goal in the first 10-15 minutes. A point here is a great point, and so we don't have to go and try and win the game in the first 10 minutes of the second half. And that was the message at half time.
We had a couple of half chances at the beginning of the second half, and then obviously we've chatted in interviews after matches recently about how the first goal is so crucial in this league. When they went and got the second one, which again was an unfortunate, the fella put it away well, but it kind of fell to him nicely. At 2-0 down, we're obviously then facing a real uphill task, and you made 3 changes, and you've alluded to the impact the substitutes made. But Callum, Aaron, and indeed Toby, all 3 of them made quite a difference when they came on. Gave a lot more energy, maybe to the attacking
definitely
intent.
You know, because they've got energy to bring to the team. Callum's been very patient with us this season. He's still a huge part of our squad. We played in a friendly quite a few weeks, probably a month ago, against Ebbsfleet, and he played wide for us there. Callum was bright, and you know, we felt we could maybe use him today with Reece Brown and Will Roundell not quite fit enough today, and that's my decision with him. Those 2 and Donovan, just to certainly not risk them. We've got to be careful with those 3. So it was a last minute call to leave those 3 out of the squad. So, but Callum really came in, was a bright spark there. Toby's been patient as well, because Tanto and Omar have been excellent, but Toby was a real bright spark, held the ball up well, looked to threaten the box. And then Simo's energy and legs and pace and power, looking to support David and get around him as well. So, as you said, 3 really big impacts up for us.
2-0 down with 15 minutes to go in West Yorkshire. We're obviously facing an uphill battle, but one of the turning points was a great goal line clearance as well by Kenny Davis in the middle of the second half.
Yeah, they had a chance, and Kenny made a good block there at the far post, and they had one, I can't remember, was it 2 or when Simo's, they just managed to get up the other end, or Simo's defended the back post excellently as well. So they certainly had their moments as well, and they're a good side, and they've got some good players, and they'll certainly be in and around the playoffs coming into the season without a doubt.
Great delivery by Rob Milson, good finish by Tanto, 2-1, 15 minutes to go, the force is with us. And then Captain Fantastic comes up with a great strike, and we're all out of our seats.
Yeah, and it just dropped to him. It was a little bit similar. It was my first game at the club when I came here in December, I think it was 2018, just over 2 years ago, and he pops up with a last minute winner, and it just sat for him pretty much the same to win it for us that day, but it just sat nicely, and as soon as I see him running onto it, I know with his technique that he was going to be goal bound.
Great finish. Now, I didn't know whether to hide behind my hands or not in the last 5 minutes of that game, because it just seemed to go from one end to the other. Then it seemed like they might win it, and then Aaron Simpson made that clearance, as you say, at the end, and then David had that run towards the end too, and you're thinking, no, surely we can't, can we? But no. Some draws, as we say, do feel like wins, and that's a terrific point.
Yeah, and like you said, they had their chance, and we certainly probably looked a little bit more likely to go on and win it. But the cautious manager that I am was certainly take the point and get back on the train and keep the run going. It's
been a really hectic, as you say, really hectic schedule. We've had some really tough games, and to be unbeaten in those 12 matches is a huge accolade, so congratulations on that. Just for the fans at home, there are 3 players who obviously weren't in the squad today, obviously with Reece, and Will and Donovan. Any update on their fitness?
Yeah, Reece didn't train yesterday, just a slight groin, which he actually picked up right at the latter stages of warming up against Bromley. So Reece will hopefully get back to train this week. Nothing too bad, but didn't train yesterday. Donovan and Will did train yesterday, but with what they've got, Donovan again picked up a little bit at the Bromley game, that's why I couldn't bring him on. So we had 2 subs actually got injured at Bromley, which was unfortunate. But yeah, both of those trained yesterday, but I just didn't feel coming here the pitch, the risk of the muscle injuries that they've got, just to give them the weekend to keep their rehab going. We're going to give all the players now Sunday, Monday off. We'll be back in Tuesday, and they'll be back training, I'm sure, ready for the Easter weekend.
Got a big Easter weekend, 2 more away games coming up, obviously. But as you say, we've got 6 days to recover. Time that I'm sure you use very wisely.
Yeah, 6 days. God, yeah. Normally it's like 3 or 4. So, yeah, it's come at a nice time for us just to give the players a nice couple of days off, let everyone refresh themselves. As I just said, we'll be back in Tuesday, and 2 extremely tough games, but we're looking forward to them.
Culture in this team that you've inculcated, Matt, is there for all to see. This was another stunning team performance. The effort and drive there, the energy right up to the final whistle. Huge point, really well earned. Enjoy the journey back. Congratulations and well done. We look forward to seeing you next Easter. Have a little break for a day or so, and then you can start again.
I will do.